long hard days. They don't say God's changed my ways, changed my ways, those evil ways. But I can't my evil way.
Rolling. Yeah, I told Carolina, I said, I've got to go. I said, I heard them turkeys down there taste like peaches.
I love peach cobbler.
Yeah, peach gobbler.
Yeah.
Instead of peach cobbler.
Yeah.
Well,
What's that?
I'm all. Well, I've come unhinged, sir.
Nervous wreck, ain't he?
Can't stand it. Well, I've come
I feel it.
again.
I feel it. I ain't slept a wink in 2 days.
So we'll be lucky to hear Jake gobble.
Probably.
Between us. Believe it or not, we're back for season 2 finally.
Finally, it's been a long time, a lot of filming, a lot of editing. We're finally back. We're going to kick it off right. We're headed down to Georgia for a turkey hunt.
Alright, we headed out. Going to Georgia. About 1 o'clock on Friday. Should be there by about 4:30. We'll be hunting a bunch of national forests. It opens tomorrow. We don't know anything about it. Where we're going, kind of going blind, but we're going to find them. So we'll stay for probably 3 days anyway, see how it goes. Maybe we'll get in them.
Thank you for choosing Steak and Shake. You can go ahead with your order.
Yeah, give me a number 4.
The number 4, what do you want on it?
Just cheese and ketchup and bacon.
Regular size with that?
Yes, ma'am.
So we had roughly 3 weeks before our season opened up here in North Carolina, and we started kind of just talking about going down to Georgia or somewhere where the season opened up earlier, and just by luck, it just kind of happened to fall together just right, like, what, less than a week before?
Yeah, a few days, probably the weekend before season open, probably.
Yeah.
My cousin actually lives in Georgia, and I was talking to him back and forth about some game lands and stuff, and he told us that a guy that he knew real well had a little cabin up there that joined some game land in the mountains of Georgia, and he could probably hook us up with a stay there. And
Sometimes I can do it good, and then sometimes it's like them cat, yeah. Maybe call in every damn cat in Georgia.
Alright, I'm going here and get food and get the hunting license.
Yep, hunting license. We can go try to see if we can't locate something.
That's it.
So we rode roughly 3 hours in the truck down here, stopped at Walmart, we got our hunting license, which was a story all of its own, but got everything set up, so we figured we'd be looking for turkeys on the way down, and sure enough, we're, 20 minutes from the cabin?
Something like that, yeah.
And see one on the right by a barn.
Oh yeah.
Well, one strutter and one longbeard that was with him at one strutting, 7 or 8 hens, I don't know, maybe more than that.
Yeah.
We'd been looking on Onyx maps, and there was some game lands pretty well that joined that tract of land, so we marked that and kind of put that in our references to go back to if we needed to.
Oh yeah, something to put in our back pocket for sure.
We'll put that in the gobbler. Now we got her marked right there.
That looks like one in the county.
Oh, yeah.
That's a star.
Well, we made her down. Got here to the cabin. We looked for turkeys here on the way, but didn't have a whole lot of luck. Didn't see much. We saw one strutting about 5 miles from where the cabin's at. But we're gonna get everything thrown out of the trucks. We've got about an hour and a half, 2 hours left of daylight left. Start to rain. We're gonna take and see if we can do a little bit of scouting before sun goes down. Get ready for opening day tomorrow.
Yeah, I think this is probably where we need to. I mean, we might have to come in here and start, I guess, won't we?
Yeah,
Yep.
probably.
I mean, just a starting point.
Makes perfect sense. I mean, you cross the road and take a left.
Looks like one that bird.
I think he said you go through a little field, then you keep on going, and you come to a big field, way on the top of the mountain.
That might be it. If that's the case.
Man needs to be here. Time to get daylight. 15 after 7?
I'd say so. Yeah.
Man needs to be here by 6 o'clock, I'd say, wouldn't you? To be 15 after 6 probably.
Yep, I would.
Yeah. Yeah, he said there was a smaller field. He said, keep going, go, go, go. You come into a big field.
God, yeah. I mean, it's just pretty.
When we got down there, it was later than we wanted. By the time we stopped and got our hunting license and everything, it was about 5:30 on Friday evening. Season opened Saturday morning. We had never been there, didn't know nothing about it. So we throwed all our stuff in the cabin quick as we could and just took off back on the game lands and hit a little gravel road and then just kept driving, and it got nasty, started raining, got real foggy. It's hard to see any sign. We seen a little bit of scratching from the road, you know. We got out several places and owl hooted, and Justin owl hooted, I don't know, several times. We didn't hear anything, but it kind of gave us a good starting point for the next morning, and that's where we talked to some campers that was there.
Yeah, on our way out of there, it being public ground, there was a lot of campers there doing a lot of fishing and stuff. So we rolled into one spot, and there was a bunch there that had a campfire. We figured we'd stop and talk to them, and Mitch spoke to them and had a little bit of good information. Kind of is another one of those deals. They give us something to put in our back pocket.
I mean, it's been weather like this, so I hadn't even heard any calling.
Yeah.
Where y'all camping at?
We're staying in a cabin out here.
Oh yeah.
No, we hadn't. Matter of fact, the only place I personally have ever seen turkey.
Up here,
Yeah, has been up there at that where the water comes out next to the road up here. Far end up there at that one campsite up in the woods up there.
And that's one of the things about it. When you go to a place like this, you don't know nothing about. Locals, a lot of times, will be your best help there is. Either they've been there before and have some idea, or just like in this instance, they happen to hear one. So a lot of times, the locals will be, one of your best tools to use.
Yep. We talked to them right at dark that night. So pretty much all we know to do is go home and throw some burgers on the grill and kick back, and eat a good supper, and get ready to get our tacticams and everything set up, get our guns ready to go, and just get up and go listen the next morning and see if we could hear one and go after.
This episode of Appalachian Holler Hunters is brought to you by Bone Collector Game Calls, Onyx Hunt, Real Tree, Federal Ammunition, Tactican, and Mountaineer Outfitters.
I'm gonna get my other stuff out of the house. Up here, boys, is the radio. You got a backpack or a vest or something?
Yeah, I got a vest.
Don't leave it on. I don't know how good the battery is in it.
Right.
But just in case we get split up.
Okay.
Channel 22 is what we'll be on.
22.
Alright, we're getting ready to get after them. It's about 5:45. Saturday, March the 20th, opening day in Georgia. We're in North Georgia in the mountains. Don't really know nothing about it. Looks a whole lot like where we live. It's public land here. We're just going to cruise in and see if we can find anything, see if we can hear anything. We rode around on it last night a little bit, but it was nasty, rainy, foggy, cold. Didn't see no turkey sign, didn't hear no turkeys, and didn't no nothing really. So we're gonna give it a shot today and see how it goes. Stay with us. We'll be back. Straight down that ridge, you ain't too far from where I was at. Where's Justin? He's in the truck. He's in the truck. Said you heard one. Said you heard one. Yeah. I got him out there.
Good. Sound good.
He's far down that ridge.
Well, it's open in the morning. We get in there about 45 minutes before daylight. We go in there with the idea we're going to have 3 groups. Me and Justin, Mitch and Chris, and then Matthew, JP, and Aaron. And like I said, we get in there about 45 minutes before daylight, start to get set up. And real quick, Mitch went to go take a leak, and on his way back, he said he'd heard a turkey. So JP, Matthew, and Aaron, they were already gone on their trail, and us 4 being together, it turned into a group hunt pretty quick. We just figured we'd pack everything up and hammer down.
I think we just got to get down there about where it starts to roll off again. Just set up and see where he's at, because I don't want to bug him. Right. He could have been a lot closer than I thought. Okay. If he was turned away from me. Right. He'd be close. He was definitely down this ridge. I'm 99% sure. Alright. I mean, I'd say he was within 200 yards. Oh, okay. From here. I mean, he was standing pretty close to me. He was loud. We was there. We didn't know nothing about this place at all.
Nothing.
There was just a nice green food plot there. It was getting greener than anything else, and we figured, ought to be some turkeys coming out and strutting if there's any around there. I walked up on the ridge. I don't know, probably 100 yards from these boys. They was down toward the truck, and it's getting daylight. Turkey should have been gobbling, and sure enough, I was standing there and there was one gobble. He was close to me, like real close. Little saddler. I believe the turkey was on that little knob over.
Yeah, and I think he flew down that way.
And he may have flew down before we got back. I don't know.
There's a road.
Did you ever hear it?
Yeah, but it sounded like it. I guess that was it. I don't know. There's one that way, but
Is that the one you heard?
about 3 times.
Did it gobble to you?
I think it gobbled at you once. Gobbled at yours once. Gobbled at Crow's once. Yeah.
Was it all over on that ridge?
It sounds like
that way. He said he thought we ought to go to the road, walk up the road and get over on that ridge in front of it. What do you guys think?
There's a road right there. It goes that way.
A walking road.
A big road. I'm talking about you drive down the truck now.
I think we need to get above them. I think we need to go by out the way we come. Well, do you want to split up?
That's fine with me. I don't care either way. That's what I was going to tell you. I told him, I said, if we see another hour and don't see nothing, that's an hour we wasted. We might have been on one, But
well, if you want to go, I mean,
that road goes on
be
too.
calling it the same turkey.
Right.
No, but
So
say we'll meet back at the truck at what? It's 25 after 8. 10 o'clock, 10:30.
Say 10:30.
10:30.
If we ain't on a bird.
Yeah.
And so I had to try to slip back out of there and get them boys. And long story short, I probably boogered the turkey and didn't realize it at the time, but we come back in there and set up on him. We heard a turkey gobble a time or two across the creek, and I still don't think that was the turkey that I originally heard. But he only gobbled one time.
Yeah.
And so these boys kind of stayed. Christian and Justin kind of stayed there. Me and Chris tried to get up and figure out how to get across the creek. And
Make back about 10:30.
Jesus in the gas tank.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
We'll go. Yeah, boy. Here we go. Opening morning of Georgia season. Seeing if we can't get it done. We done heard one. Just couldn't get the job done. He didn't want to cooperate, so we're gonna go try to find another one. Stay tuned.
Right there. There's these other fields. Right. We're probably, well, let's see. We're 1 mile from them other fields right here. Okay. It's up to you. I'd say once we get there, it will be down to 3/4 of a mile. You know, give or take. It's good scratching right there.
Good.
That's recent. This whole place has been tore up. Well, we can hear what we think might be a hen. Heard a gobbler this morning. Couldn't get to him. Couldn't get him to cooperate. Now he's back up here on another ridge or a little knoll. Just seen a whole bunch of scratching. There's some old scratching right here. Gonna see what we can find right here. See what we can hear. Well, we walked a little farther. Ain't heard nothing yet.
Yep.
We're gonna walk this road here. There's a power line it kind of connects to with another road that some of our other guys are on. So we're gonna walk it and run and gun, I guess you'd say.
Running gun. See if we can get one located.
If we can get one located, we'll have a bird on the ground.
Good deal. Good deal. Let's go try it. Go get it.
so we ended up just backing out of there and going checking out some spots, and we ended up hunting all day till dark. I mean, literally all day, and that was the only two birds that we heard all day.
Yep, that was the gist of the first day. That's all there was to it. It ended up being just another scouting day overall.
Yep.
Heard one, and
we done a lot of driving and a lot of walking,
Yep.
checking stuff out.
just trying to get a feel for the land. And then at the end of the day, we went back and tried to locate one.
All right, back at the scene of the crime, back where we started this morning. Me and Justin's gonna head down here and see if we can roost this gobbler we heard this morning. And Mitch is headed out to go over and around to that knob way over there. And he's gonna see if he can hear from over there. Hopefully between the two of us, we can get something roosted for tomorrow. Like he said before, don't know if he heard one or two. When he went out this road here behind us, or this ridge rather, and heard one gobble, we got out there on top of that knoll, we heard one. Instead of this way, heard it down that way. So we don't know whether it was the same gobbler and the sound bounced, or if we're on two different ones. So hopefully we can get in here this evening. Here one go to roost. Have something ready for in the morning. Stay with us. Me and Justin went one way and Mitch went another, and we think we got one located. We'll try it again second day.
Yep. When you cross the bridge, instead of cutting up left to go to that green field, go straight. See, he got. No.
You cut across the bridge going up to where they's at. You know, we crossed.
Oh,
and
no,
went
we just went left.
No, the road forks right there, about 100 yards up there, and we go left hand.
Yeah.
But that right hand road goes up there, and it shows some food plot stuff on the map right there.
We didn't go that way.
No, we just.
I don't know what date that is. 2017.
I think it's good.
Them baby toys.
Put yourself cleaner in it.
Why, yeah. Break it down there a little.
Yeah.
Up there's some coffee creamer in the top.
Yeah, it's worse than this. Yeah. Hadn't I burned him a barcode on it.
It's so.
It goes a long flipping ways. Goes up there to the green field.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, there's a bunch of trucks.
It goes all the way through and comes out over in the private.
Son after him left it like I-40.
Right here. It, shoom, shoom, shoom. I thought, Lord, I don't know where all these people are going. And evidently, it's all going to the same turkey.
Right here.
Oh, caviar, boy.
Caviar.
He's serious about it, ain't he?
Right there's the bridge.
Yep.
That's why we've been going up to the.
So for second day, we ended up going with our original plan and do split up into the three groups we had mentioned. Me and Justin go set up in the same spot we was the day before, where we'd heard the first bird originally, and Matthew, JP, and Aaron, they go another way and try to get on one, and Mitch and Chris go back to the spot where Mitch had heard one the night before.
All right, guys. Day number 2 here in Georgia. We're going to go try to get one. We know where a couple birds is in the area. We will see if we can't get something done for one of them. So stay tuned here. We'll see.
We got in there pretty early, and it's kind of a funny story. After we all got back to the camp that night, Saturday night, we got to talking, and little did we know we had all been after the same birds from that morning before, and we didn't know it. Them boys was on one side of the mountain, we was on the other side, but we all heard them. So really, we chased each other around all day and didn't even know it. Hadn't seen each other.
Never heard each other call or
No,
nothing.
we didn't even. I mean, we didn't have a clue. So we talked it over back at the cabin, and Matthew, he said, "Heck, you boys was on them birds too." He said, "You can just go in there, and we'll go somewhere else." So it's half a dozen one win, 6 others. So.
Yep.
Christian and Justin, me and Chris ended up dropping them off down at the bottom where we heard the bird gobble just the one time the morning before.
Yep.
We knew he was in there somewhere. Well, we went to the top of the ridge where the one was gobbling across the creek the morning before. And we went in there and went up a little ridge and was sitting there at daylight. It was quiet as a church house. We didn't hear nothing. Finally, there was a bird gobbled like legitimately 1.5 miles away on the other side of a big mountain. So I told Chris, I said, we just need to sit here. I mean, I said, unless somebody killed them yesterday eating, them birds are in here. And where it was at, we pretty much knew nobody hadn't killed them. So we ended up sitting there and the one across the road gobbled several times, and I ended up marking it on Onyx. And we'd sit there for close to 2 hours after daylight. I think I called one time, nothing. Sat there, it was getting up, it was about 8:30, and I hit the call. And when I hit the call, the bird gobbled. He wasn't 150 yards or down the hill from us. We got everything ready, I got the camera rolling. think. He never gobbled again. In just a minute, I heard him spitting and drumming just out of sight, and he came around the hill strutting and went out of strut by the time I seen him.
That's right.
Take care, North Georgia.
Did it?
Yes, sir.
Son of it. It blowed your ears. Like shot. You're in front of me?
The little 20.
Got it.
Strike us again, baby. Ah.
That's awesome.
First one of the season.
Come up.
TSS rocked his world, didn't it? Baby doll. Yes, sir. Appalachian holler hunters in Georgia got our butt kicked here. We're on the board today. 2-year-old, we'll take them all day long on public. Couldn't be happier. Hope you got it on film. Because I could see the turkey's head, and I don't give them no second chances. The first chance they give me, I shoot them. We're more into killing turkeys than we are filming, but we got him.
Kept slipping around through there just looking, and I was really wanting Chris to be able to shoot the turkey, but he was on the right hand side and the turkey come from this way. So pretty much when I seen him and I knew Chris couldn't get a shot on him, I didn't give him no second chances. I went ahead and shot. You know, it was a good hunt. Turkey worked great, come straight in after he finally decided to gobble. Wasn't nothing special. It was a 2-year-old bird, played the game good.
Yeah, it's a bona fide. It's a heavy bird though.
Shoot you off.
You can weigh 20 pounds on it.
Gonna eat good tonight.
Good boy. He's, like I say, he's bona fide. 9 inches. Good boy. Alright, we had a pretty good hunt this morning. We slipped in on a big ridge way before daylight. Heard a couple birds around here yesterday and they outdone us bad, real bad. Public land, a lot of people yesterday's opening day. Got in there this morning, didn't hear nothing. Heard one bird on the roost, but it was way off. We sat there, I don't know, probably 45 minutes, an hour. Give him a call a time or two, nothing. And then I decided to throw a few yeps out. Yepped a little bit. And when I did, he cut me off gobbling about 100 yards. And maybe 4 or 5 minutes went by and I called one more time to him, scratching the leaves a little bit. He comes straight in like he's on a string. Shot him probably 35 yards or something. Bona fide 2-year-old, but we'll take what we can get on this public land. He played the game, played it good, so we knocked him out. Love to chase him. Yeah. We get after him pretty hard. Congratulations, man. That's pretty cool. Appreciate it.
Yesterday we went up here.
We hunted till dark yesterday. We hunted.
Yeah, we had 15 hours, I think.
And so you heard them yesterday?
Good morning early, and then they shut up. And it's funny because our buddies that's with us, we split up yesterday morning. Got out there and went home, went back to the cabin, cleaned him up, chunked him up in nuggets, marinated him, and got him ready for some grease that night.
That's it.
This episode of Appalachian Holler Hunters is brought to you by Bone Collector Game Calls, Onyx Hunt, Real Tree, Veteran Ammunition, Tax Can, and Mountaineer Outfitters.
So after we get back to camp, we decided to ride back out to town. We went to get us something to eat for lunch, and on our way back, we had decided we're going to go ahead and stop and try to find that bird we'd seen on the way to Georgia. You know, the one about 20 minutes from the camp. So we ride back in there, and long story short, we spent a lot of time trying to find the access road in the first place. We was able to find it with our Onyx Hunt maps. I'm going to figure out where them turkeys are that we seen coming in. Got the Onyx Hunt map out here. We've got it down to a science now. We followed some roads, some game land roads in here.
There it is back. Right. At that barn. Game lane goes to there. Then, see this road? It's going to go all the way around and come out over here on this highway.
Yep. And this upper road right here, what is it? Where does it go?
It goes all the way back around through this whole big block.
It comes out.
It comes out over here, wherever that's at. Right there's the way, Justin. Right through there. Mm-hmm. So you can walk up this ridge, and then go down that main ridge.
Yeah.
You see the ridge way over there, a pretty good piece over there.
Yeah.
You see right there is pointed directly at where I got it marked. Right there. Yeah.
And finally got to where we believed we could get to it and do a little bit of calling. And from there, we didn't have no luck. We got us a game plan, or what we thought was a game plan, for our last day there, until we ran up on a Forest Service guy.
And come to find out, we were going to go back in there the next morning because we saw a sign. We didn't hear any birds, but we saw where several turkeys had been, you know, from the road scratching and stuff in the ditches and down in the woods. And he flagged us down, and long story short, he just had locked the far gate, and they were going to do a controlled burn the next morning in there, so he had to come through and make sure everybody was out of there. So we had to turn around and drive an hour all the way back to the other end and go out the way we come. So it kind of knocked our plan in the head for the last morning, so we really didn't know what to do.
Yep, back to square one, trying to figure out what we were going to do the last day.
Yep. He knows it.
Fresh gobbler.
$1,500 meal right here.
Hurt more.
Yeah, that's just for license between us. I ain't counting whatever else we spent. Worth every penny.
Hell, I've got two of them.
I'll get one seven. Look at that. Give me a smile.
This one right here is the perfect one.
That one right there.
Pretty good.
Oh yeah.
Third morning, North Georgia, public land. It's tough. We heard one turkey yesterday, and it's dead. The rest of the boys got on one turkey, different place, called it, had it coming. It was within about 90 yards, and somebody was in between them. They didn't know it, and that guy shot it, so wiped that one off the map too. I think we know there's one bird in here. He just gobbled one time Saturday for opening day. I think he's a big bird. He's smart, got hens. We're just going in here and see if he'll do anything this morning. Maybe we can get on him. Who knows? We don't know. So it's the best shot we got. So we're gonna give it a shot. So the last morning, we kind of was dumbfounded because where we was going to go, they was going to do that controlled burn. So the best thing we could figure we could do is go back in there where we killed the bird the day before. And we thought there was one more turkey in there, and I knew there was another one that we'd heard way across on the other mountain. So, and I was pretty sure there was a road between us and it, but I could at least kind of pinpoint it. So sure enough, we went in there, me and Christian and Chris and Justin was going to go, and he got up. He was sick. He got a stomach virus, so he didn't feel like getting out that morning. We walk in there and get on top of the ridge. Sure enough, just I mean, just like clockwork, the bird across the road that I heard the day before started gobbling. And he gobbled several times. I mean, it was a long ways. It was just as far as you could hear, you know.
Yep.
So we ended up pulling it up on Onyx, and I seen a food plot on there, and I thought the bird was right above the food plot. And so we marked that, and we figured that was a good starting point.
Across the river.
Be straight across from us, right?
Yep.
Which would be right there. I mean, he's straight in there.
Yep.
So I need to figure out how to get up there.
Yep.
And there was a road that went through that food plot, so we come out there and drove around. It probably took us, what, 35 minutes?
At least 35 minutes.
45 minutes to get in there. We got out of the truck, and there's a real steep ridge there above that little food plot, and we figured we'd have to cross over that ridge. The bird would be on the back side, but we got out of the truck, went through the food plot, started in the woods, and when they gobbled, they was within 200 yards of us.
We heard this turkey from about, I don't know, I'd say we was close to a mile away. He's straight across a great big holler up on the other side of the mountain. I marked it on Onyx. We drove around over here to go to the food plot. I think he's on the back side of this big ridge right here. We're gonna try to slip up here to the top and see if we can get him fired up. We got about 5 hours before we're heading out, going back home, so we got some time. We're gonna try to make it happen.
So we start up this real steep hill, or up this steep ridge. We get roughly halfway up there up to another road, and like I say, I mean, they gobbled. I mean, at that point, it was less than 100 yards away, right on top of us. So we had to hurry real quick and get set up, and we figured this is where it was going to happen. And after we sat there for probably 15 minutes, I guess, give or take, and we noticed they were starting to go on up. So we worked on up to what would have been another road, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really the same road. It just zigzagged back and forth up beside the mountain to keep it from being so steep. They put a lot of switchbacks in it, and the birds were working that road bed is what they were doing, and they didn't want to come out of it. There was a flat out there, and they were in that flat. So we went straight up and come into where the road switched back again, set up again, and they gobbled, called to them. I mean, we thought they was coming, got ready. Well, in a minute they kind of go back, and I knew at that point that they more than likely they had hens while they was acting. There was 2 or 3 longbeards. We hadn't seen them, but we could, they were gobbling good. And above that road, the ridge, there was a big flat ridge that came down, and it flattened off out there into a little saddle, and that's where they were at in that saddle. So we decided to go to the top, which was only about 40 yards from where we were at, and get above them, above that saddle, and try to call them up the hill. Well, when we done that,
this is where action really picks up too.
we slipped around there, and they gobbled, and they're probably 80 yards just out in that saddle. So we set up, started calling. Christian was behind me and Chris filming, had Chris set up to shoot. Well, called 2 or 3 times, they answered every time. In just a minute, we seen a hen come up over the hill. And I told Chris, I said, get ready. I said, they're right on top of us. I mean, they're coming. Well, the hen come up there to about 20 yards, and she never did come all the way across the top. She skirted right around the edge, and sure enough, they was strutting just right behind it, right below it, and they never did stick their head up.
Yeah, and this whole time, needless to say, in my regular fashion, I'm behind as always. So when we got up to that ridge, I ended up having to lay on my belly in behind some brush, because it was get down now.
Yeah.
And whenever they're getting set up, and like you say, they're coming right around the side of this ridge. Right beside us. It was don't move or die at this point.
Yeah, it got kind of intense. and they started around the hill, and I hit the call to them, and they gobbled and kind of turned toward me and come up the hill, and I picked out an opening. It was pretty thick, and last year and this year's the only 2 years I've ever hunted with 20 gauge, and I hunted with a 12 a lot last year. So, you know, I kind of had in my mind I could kill them there, and I probably could have with a 3.5 inch 12 gauge, but you know, I had a 20 gauge, so they stepped up there, and we was getting ready to leave, and I thought, heck, I ain't got nothing to lose but a shell, you know. So I ended up shooting, and they ended up carrying themselves on the other way, and that's pretty much the end of that story. But we did find them.
Did find them. We got into them, and
yeah, we was on
threw the federal TSS at them. It just wasn't. Just a little too far.
Yeah, it was a little thick probably looking back, but in the heat of the moment I done the best I could do.
That's all there was to it, because I mean, if they'd have come on up,
oh yeah, if they would have come right behind the hen when she come up there, they was 20 yards right in their face, but they were strutting and going right around that roadbed below us.
Yep.
So they knew the country and we didn't. They'd been there a lot more than we had. So.
Yep, coulda, shoulda, woulda moment. That was basically all there was to it.
But it was fun anyway.
Oh yeah, it was a good time. It was definitely a rush. It was definitely worth the drive to Georgia for. I think it was a good time.
Yeah, heard a lot of gobbling, and they was just getting right. If we could have stayed another couple of days, I think we could have done real good. We was just figuring out where they was at, how to get around in the country. But unfortunately, we had to come back and go back to work.
That was it. But all in all, we got to go down. We got to see some beautiful country.
Oh yeah.
I mean, one of the prettiest places I've ever been to. As aggravating it was to hunt there for a little bit, it was.
Had some nice people.
Really nice people, really nice country. I mean,
we ate good, and had a good time. Yeah. Killed a turkey and got on some more turkeys and laughed a whole lot.
Gosh, so we had laughed till we couldn't breathe.
We had a good trip.
So, all in all, we'll get ready and try to do it again next year.
Hopefully, yes, sir.
Well, stick with us here. This is our first episode of season 2. We're going to hopefully be releasing every Friday if all works the way it's supposed to. Check out next week. We're going to have a lot of turkey episodes before we roll into deer season. And if it all works right, we'll be rolling right into deer season and into bear season. So stick with us here, and thanks for watching.